Let's say that your loved one had the freedom to stay independent, the support to stay safe, and the community to stay engaged all in one place. And that's what we'll talk about today. I'm Anna Gurley, along with Aaron Smith. We're with eXp Realty, the Aaron Smith team. We are so delighted to have Karli Kent with us today. Karli is the resident service coordinator at St. Charles Community. And she's going to walk us through how programs like Charlie's Club work. And I'm hoping for some tips for us families looking for options for care for our senior parents. Thanks for being with us, Karli.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I really enjoy talking to you all, and I'm excited to get to promote St. Charles and let people know everything that we have going on over here.
Well, that's great. Well, then let's start with, tell us about St. Charles Community and what kind of living options do you offer?
So there's a lot of things going on here around St. Charles. I've been here since I was 15, so I'm going on 10 years here, which is really awesome. And so growing up here, you learn a lot of things, but it is such a truly a wonderful community with lots of resources for seniors. And so we start out with our independent living. So we have 71 townhomes here on campus. We call them cottages. It's called our village. And currently with our village, there are 3 different floor plans, and they're all maintenance-free living for those individuals. So they're not only living independently, they're driving, coming and going as they please. Some of them still work part-time, volunteer places, but they're also living maintenance-free. So we take care of all of the landscaping, the lawn care, snow removal. We supply all of the appliances, take care of those with the maintenance and everything. So they really don't have to worry about anything other than enjoying themselves and enjoying the community around them, and just enjoying those retirement years that they deserve to enjoy. So that is kind of with our village. And then alongside of that, we have our lodge. So our lodge holds 71 apartments over in this main area. And those are licensed as independent living at the moment. But they offer a lot of assisted living services that are available for residents. So we provide all 3 meals a day for those residents. We do weekly housekeeping, pick up their garbage every day, but a lot of those residents are still very independent, still driving and going, coming and going as they please. And so we are just there for more of their day-to-day tasks with other services available as well. But we've got activities all throughout the day, just things to keep them entertained and engaged with each other, I guess. And then a lot of times people move from there over to what we call the homestead. So the homestead is like our more personal care level. It's currently licensed as assisted living dementia care. So it's a little bit of a step up from regular assisted living. This can be a secured unit if it needs to be. There are only 14 rooms over there, so it's a lot smaller group of people. They're getting a lot of attention throughout the day, a lot more assistance. And then that's that next step before skilled care, which is a level of care that we do not offer. But last but not least, we do have our adult day program, which is something that I like to market a lot more just because I don't feel like it's well known as much as your assisted living and your independent living, of course. But our adult day program is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and it is just a daytime program for individuals who are still wanting to live at home. A lot of the participants either live with their adult children or with their spouse who will come drop them off. But pretty much it's a great respite option. It's a great break throughout the day for that caregiver, for that spouse. So they can come here, they can drop off their loved one. They can have a sense of comfort and security, knowing that their loved one is being taken care of. They're safe, they're happy, they're healthy, they're around other people. Whereas the caregiver or the spouse can go home and run errands, go to work, or just need a break and just sit down and enjoy their day. So it is a really great resource. And I would love for more people to know about it just because I feel like it can help people stay in their homes more.
Oh, absolutely. So this is the Charlie's Club that you're talking about?
Yes.
So what would a typical day look like if somebody should come there? And do you offer services, activities? And I guess I really want to know, what is the favorite thing that people enjoy?
So it's great because it has a good balance of offering things all throughout the day. And then, of course, they have their rest periods throughout the day as well. So everyone trickles in randomly, I guess. So you're not required to come 8 to 5:30. We have people come from 10 to 2. We've got people that come from 8 to 5:30 or 10 to 4. Just depends on when their loved one can come pick them up. But really, when they come in, they just lounge and hang out throughout the morning. 9:30 hits, and they will start their breakfast. So we will provide their breakfast for them. So that's when they go into the dining room. And then after that, they do news and exercise, and they just talk about what's going on in the world. Of course, only the good things. And then they might do a morning activity before lunch. And then they will get served lunch around noon with dietary restrictions and everything like that. And then between 1 and 2 is when they have their movie hours. So they will just lounge and hang out for that hour after lunch, just digest and take a chill pill for a little bit. And then around 2 o'clock, 2 to 3:30, they'll have an afternoon activity. And then they will go into like an afternoon snack and then filter in and out throughout the day, or after that, I guess. So they have stuff going on all throughout the day. They've got their fun stuff. They've got their rest period, but there's a lot of other services that they're able to get while they're here, whether that's medication administration at noon or podiatry services, or they can utilize our therapy services. And so there are a lot of other additional services that are offered to them, even though they don't live here.
Wow, that sounds like a full day. Yeah. I bet they go home exhausted.
Yes, for sure. And that's the goal. The goal is to keep them entertained and active, whether that's physical or whether that's cognitively. And so when they go home, they can just relax and enjoy their time with their loved one.
So can people come just once a week or every day of the week? How does that work?
So that's just up to them, the person and whoever's dropping and picking them up. So Misty, who is the head coordinator of Charlie's Club, she's been here for, I think, 26, 27 years, and she's been running that program for a long time. So she is absolutely wonderful. And she said that they just have to call. The latest that they call is the Friday before. So people can come 5 days a week if they want. They can come once a week, once every other week, once a month. Just kind of depends on when they want to come and when they can come.
So is that for all people with all kinds of abilities, I guess, lack of a better word, whether they're a dementia patient, a mobility issue, or just a person that the family needs respite?
A little bit of both, or a little bit of everything, I guess. So the minimum age requirement is 60. So we have seen a lot of people in their 60s and up, of course. And so you do have to go through an assessment prior to being accepted into Charlie's Club program, just to make sure that they are qualified for that level of care and that we can provide the level of care that they need. One thing about us is that we're not just to take somebody. We're going to make sure that we can provide their level of care, that what they may need at the time, because each person is different. So they do go through a little assessment prior to that. But so it's just minimum age requirement of 60. We do some standby assists with the nurses and the aides down there as well. But yeah, I think it's just more so being able to transport yourself some way, whether that's a walker, a wheelchair, self-propelling in a wheelchair, a cane, a rollator, or something like that. I think that's probably the biggest requirement that they look for.
Sure. Well, everybody wants to know the great big question. How much does it cost?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So you actually do pay per day. And so the daily cost is $80 a day. And so again, that will provide you breakfast, that will provide you lunch, an afternoon snack, and then of course, activities and engagement throughout the day, as well as you can get showers if you need to. You can get that medication administration. And so that it will include a lot of things. And you're able to call and cancel the day of, which is pretty flexible. It's a very flexible program. I think the only time that you get charged is if you are a no-show, no-call.
Wow. So do you keep the family updated I know in children's daycares, they take pictures of their children and send them to their parents. Do you have that kind of communication with the adult children?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have a communication system called LifeLoop. And LifeLoop is something that we've used as long as I can remember. And it's really, really wonderful, and it's very senior friendly, honestly. So it's the communication system all throughout the campus. Obviously, the Charlie Club participants do not live here, but their families are still connected throughout that system. And so that system, it does a million things. It gives them the opportunity to be able to contact staff if they have any questions or concerns about anything. It gives normal permanent residents the opportunity to submit work requests or transportation requests. But mainly people are able to go on there and look at the activity calendar and the menus for the week. So they're able to see everything that their loved one has gone to, whether that's a more physical activity. We have cornhole or Wii bowling or things like that, or if it's more of a cognitive, intellectual activity. So loved ones and family members who are connected to their loved one through that app can see all of the activities that they attend throughout the week. So you can also see pictures throughout there as well. There's a photo gallery on that communication site as well, which is really fun for the families. Some of them who people may live out of town around here, they're able to see what their loved ones are getting into and seeing pictures, which is really nice.
Man, that's awesome. It sounds like a wonderful program. So if I wanted to sign my loved one up, how do I go about doing that?
Honestly, so the first thing that you would do is obviously call our number and ask for Misty. So like I said, Misty has been in charge of Charlie's Club for a long, long time, and she just does tremendous work. So the first thing that she would recommend to do is take a more in-depth tour and go through the assessment process. So the assessment process, I think, takes about an hour, hour and a half. And so the nurse will be there and they'll run through all those things. And then as long as they qualify, they get a history and physical from their doctor, and then they're able to sign up whenever. So again, you're able to be flexible with your days. You can come different days throughout the week. You can come every other week if you wanted to. You just have to let them know latest by that Friday.
I like it.
So I got a question going back to your different levels of care,
Mhm.
right? And being a child of aging parents, I just want to make sure that I'm ready for things. And one of the things that Anna and I find is that a lot of times assisted care doesn't really come into the conversation, or maybe we avoid the conversation until there's an event, right? There's a fall or there's a medical event of some kind, heart attack, stroke, something like that. What recommendations would you have for children of seniors, the adult children, to maybe start that conversation early enough to where they're not being reactive to an event? Maybe they're being more proactive.
I see a little bit of everything, because so I do a lot of the inquiries for St. Charles. And so we'll get the inquiries that are like, okay, my mom is in rehab. She's getting discharged this Friday. I need something as soon as possible. What do you got? And a lot of the times we are full, which is a great problem on our end to have, but it doesn't help them out, right? And then on the other hand of that, I will get we're just being proactive. We are just doing our general research while my mom is still compliant with the idea of moving somewhere. We are doing this now, right? So I do see a little bit of both sides to that. My recommendation is to do it the earlier, the better. And just to reiterate to your loved one that this does not mean that you're moving in at this moment right now, but you don't know what you need until you need it. And so a lot of the times when people call and they need something immediately, and we can't do that, they don't really know where to turn. And so that's where we have to prioritize the other resources and hook them up with those resources and stuff like that. So I would say definitely the earlier, the better, just because that means your loved one is more likely to be compliant with the idea of moving somewhere. Because let's be honest, older individuals struggle with that idea. You go your entire life living in your home of 60 plus years, and the idea of moving somewhere else that's not home is very hard and very tough. So obviously it's a huge decision, but the earlier the better, just because that way they can do their research, find a community that fits them the most, be eyeing it throughout their years of getting older. Their kids can keep following that community, and just to make sure, obviously, it's the right fit for them. And so, excuse me, my goodness, hold on. So I do think just going as early as you can while they're still in that mindset of maybe this is a good idea down the road.
Well, I do know that St. Charles community is well known and well respected in the community. And I'm sure you always have a waiting list, right?
We've got a waiting list at the moment for everything but Charlie's Club. So all 71 cottages, all 71 apartments, and all 14 suites do have a waiting list at the moment. So, which again is a great problem to have. I feel like we do have a really great reputation around the community. It helps that we've been around for 60 plus years. So that's always wonderful. But yeah, that's why I also try and highlight the benefits of Charlie's Club, because there's so many benefits to it, and just people just have no idea what it is. And it just can help out a lot of people. So it's a good problem to have, I guess.
Absolutely great problem to have. But yeah, I do like the idea of the Charlie's Club. I really wasn't that familiar with it myself. And so it's good to know more about it. And
Yeah.
so I'll spread the word.
Thank you. Yes.
Here's a question for you. When it comes to, I guess you've got Charlie's Club, you've got independent living. How have you seen St. Charles change people's lives for the better? We see a lot of seniors that become reclusive, and they lose touch with their friends, and they don't get out very much. I'm assuming that you see a lot of changes in people as they join. So what kind of changes do you see when family members come in there?
I do a lot of the time see people, it's really sad, because a lot of the times with older individuals, they are very, the best way to put it, I guess, is embarrassed. Sometimes they're embarrassed to go to activities because they might not be able to hear well. They might not be able to see well. their hands might not work in a way that they're able to do a craft or something. I've seen a lot of individuals just be very reluctant and hesitant to attend certain activities, to attend certain social events, just because they don't really know anybody, or again, they're just a little worried about being around people or something like that. So I always actually use this one woman as an example. I toured her daughter back in April. And so she ended up moving back in May. And her daughter was as sweet as can be. She, for the first week or two when her mom moved in, she was coming into my office just saying, I'm very worried because she's not coming out. She's not going to any activities. She's just sitting in her room. And we all know that that's not good for any individual in any sort of way, just for them to sit in their room with no social engagement. So she ended up coming to the Mother's Day tea party that we were hosting and sat at a table and ended up knowing this woman that she had known for, my goodness, 50 to 60 plus years. And now she started to slowly come out to activities. And so now I see her out all the time. And so that is just one. And she's always so happy. She has such a great group of friends. And so just little things like that, where you see somebody move into St. Charles, move into a new facility, new community, and it's very scary at times. It's very scary at first, just because, again, you don't know many people. No one ultimately wants to leave their home. So people are always reluctant coming into a community like this. But it's really wonderful to see a community. And I know all kinds of other places around here do the same, but it's really nice to see a community really tailor everything towards those individuals, whether that's specific activities or coming to remind them, hey, your favorite movie's on for movie hour. Let's go watch your movie. Or, hey, it's Tuesday. Let's go play bingo. I feel like our aides and our workers do a really great job of coming to remind residents and coming to get them to be coming out to those social interactions social events and stuff like that. So it is just really wonderful. And they do all kinds of other things. They've got rosary every day, which is something that one of the residents requested, I think. So they've done that. So just things like that when we see residents really enjoy activities that we offer or services like that, we try and do it more just to make them happy.
Absolutely. So you also partner with the Senior Resource Center. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about the Senior Resource Center?
Yep. So the Senior Resource Center is wonderful. St. Charles opened up the Senior Resource Center about 3 or 4 years ago. And so a long story short, a long time ago when Margie Volpenheim was here, so she's been with St. Charles for now about 40 years. And so a long time, that's a long time. So while she's been here, she used to get a lot of calls from people that just didn't know what they needed. We kind of mentioned earlier, they thought they needed St. Charles, but they really didn't. And they just really didn't know where to turn or what to do. And so we had a grant that was really well invested a long time ago. And so 4 years ago, we opened up the Senior Resource Center. And so it is down in Latonia off of Winston Avenue. And it's just like a little storefront. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And they are a completely free service for seniors and their families. And they pretty much help navigate seniors through the maze of aging, whether that's finding housing based off of certain levels of care, fixed incomes, certain demographics, geographics. I'm coming from Cincinnati. I want to move over to Kentucky. How do I go about that? So not only do they do all aspects of housing, but they also help people fill out Medicare, Medicaid. They help people get bus passes. And so they pretty much do everything. But one of their main services is that they educate and inform, and they also accept donations. And so a lot of people, when a loved one has passed, they have an extra walker or Depends or just random items that their parents needed that they don't need anymore. The Senior Resource Center accepts all those donations and actually gives them out to people, specifically lower income, a lot of the time. So they've helped a lot of homeless people. They've helped a lot of super low income individuals who really can't afford much. They've gotten so many donations that they've furnished apartments. They've gotten recliners for people, free beds. They've got 3 power scooters in their possession at the moment that they're going to give to people. So the donation aspect of it is huge. But again, like I said, they're also there to educate and inform. So they do a lot of presentations informing individuals out in the community what's out there, different senior living facilities like St. Charles, or just different resources, different opportunities for them to get to know what's out there and what the path is to go on. So again, completely free service for seniors and their families. Absolutely wonderful. They're really just there to help people, first timers, or just people that just need any sort of help throughout the maze of aging.
Sounds like the best kept secret.
Honestly, it's like a hidden gem. It is.
Right. I really didn't know about it until just a few years ago. And Aaron and I have been good enough to actually donate things to the Senior Resource Center, and they've always been very appreciative.
Yes, they definitely love the donations. They're in a very small space at the moment. And so with the expansion that's happening in a couple years with us, we are going to be building a new senior resource center up at the Heights property. And so we'll hopefully get a lot more storage so they can receive a lot more donations and then give that back to the community.
Well, don't they have a major fundraising event?
Yes, in less than a month, surprisingly. This is our 3rd annual Cocktails and Candy Canes. And it is absolutely a blast. It's so fun because not only does it get you in the Christmas spirit, everything's decorated for Christmas and it's just a nice evening out, but it gives people the opportunity to learn more about the Senior Resource Center. It gives them the opportunity to walk around and see a lot of different senior resources that are there. So different vendor tables, you've got your elder law people, or you've got your senior realtors, or you've got home health people or different other communities. And so there's all kinds of resources there that people can get in touch with and learn more about. And then not most importantly, but on the fun side, we've got all kinds of silent auctions and raffles and scratch offs and door prizes and stuff like that. And then there's a cash bar and stuff. So very fun. It is December 9th, and it's just a really great night out for individuals and to learn more about Senior Resource Center.
Sure. So if somebody wanted to come to the event this year, how do they get?
So we've got link on our website and on our Facebook. You can purchase tickets through me. If you wanted to call and purchase tickets online, over the phone, or cash or check. Honestly, either any way that people prefer. So
Sounds great. So I'm going to say that if any of this information sparked any interest for the audience today, how would they get in touch with you to maybe even take a tour of the St. Charles community?
yeah, so you can just call St. Charles and ask for Karli. Do a lot of the tours and inquiries. There's a few other people that do the tours as well. You can just give us a call, check out the website, see what services we have, see if those services fit the needs that individual needs. Call me. I also have a direct number, and then we could definitely get a tour scheduled.
Sounds good.
Karli, this has been awesome. I know we've worked with Margie over at the Senior Resource Center. That's how we found out about St. Charles, and we've seen you guys at our senior focus events, and you guys are doing really great work over there. And whether it's Charlie's Club or whether it's your independent living, all your what'd you call them? Your villas and
village, the
villages, changing people's lives here in Northern Kentucky, and if families can really trust you guys. So we love being partnered up with you.
Yeah, really appreciate that, and I appreciate everything that you guys do for the community as well. And was telling me a bunch of stories that you guys have of people that you've helped in kind of situations, and you guys are wonderful in a different way. Like you guys just going in and helping people move and clean out their stuff and find a new home, at working with the families and the financials. It's a gift. It really is.
Thank you.
Love what we do. And, we've been doing this for several years now with seniors, and we kind of into learning that seniors, they don't get the patience and the attention that they need. And a lot of times they don't have all the answers and they really don't know where to turn. So that's really why we do what we do, is to make sure that we're taken care of that aren't really getting what they deserve. So
yeah, when they don't have a lot of family in town too, and it's hard for them to not only start that process, but just to navigate that entire process. And so if you guys want to do anything together, let me know. I'm always happy to host, always happy to speak at places, and we can get out in the community. We love it. So
sounds good. Thank you, Karli.
Yeah,
it was wonderful talking with you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Awesome. We'll make sure that people know how to get in touch with you, and we'll be talking with you soon at Cocktails and Candy Canes.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for everything.
All right. See you, Karli.
Bye, guys.